Hey there, it's Sam with Tennis Express. I'm here with Alex. We're very excited to bring you the racket review of the Tennis Express exclusive Head Radical MP 18 by 20. Very exciting opportunity for us to bring this to our customers. It's that same Radical MP you know and love, 98 square inch head, but most importantly, a denser 18 by 20 string pattern. Alex, talk to me a little bit about what you thought about this exclusive racket from Head.
Yeah, so whenever you had told me about this racket, I wasn't really aware of the significance. You guys said that the last 18 by 20 Radical MP was however many years ago, before I even started playing. So I was pretty excited to really, try it out compared to the 16 by 19.
With the Radical MP 1820, we went in a little bit deeper on this one. We strung it up a few different ways. Alex and I both tend to play more of a co-poly string. With this one, because of that dense string pattern, we wanted to get a little bit of a different feel for how the racket might apply to other levels of play and other styles of play. So we strung it up with a multi-filament string a couple of times. We strung it up with a few different co-polys, and I think the results were quite surprising. I'll just say for myself, even with a multi-filament string with that dense pattern, there's a surprising amount of control. Not as much string movement, obviously, as there would be with a more open pattern. I think a multi-filament in this racket is great for a player who strikes the ball pretty flat. Maybe they have a little bit more traditional grips. They're not really far under the handle. They're not producing that massive topspin, but they want some easy power. They want that control, and they want to be able to get the ball through the court. I think that multi-filament setup is really going to work well for them. I think I'm just so used to co-poly strings now that I probably would end up settling on the co-poly because I'm sort of in between, like hitting flat and spin. Yeah. So I think for me, probably co-poly worked better, but if you are somebody that plays the ball a little bit flatter and you want a little bit more control from that string bed, the 18 by 20 with a multi like Velocity could be a really good option. What about you, Alex, as far as the different string setups we did?
Yeah, so I'm kind of on the opposite spectrum of you. I still do play with mainly co-poly strings on all my rackets, but I found that with the multi-filament, the feel was really, really good on this racket, and that's what I enjoyed. So at the net, even in the baseline, trying to make really finesse shots or good touch, good placement, I thought the multi-filament did really good. So that would be my go-to if I were to pick up this racket. And overall, playing with it, I was pretty surprised at the control with the multi-filament. One thing I really, really appreciate about this racket is that the weight of it is so accessible to so many people that it's really an easy racket to just jump into. It's not really intimidating like a 315 gram or 310 gram racket. It's 10.6 ounces, 300 grams, so very standard, easy to use weight.
Now let's take a quick break for the specs. I think that's something that separates it from a lot of rackets on the market. You see the 18 by 20 pattern with a few other brands, and the swing weight starts to really approach 330. It gets a little bit harder to manage. A lot of those rackets are also 10.8 ounces, so 305 grams. A really nice thing about this is it's still a pretty lightweight at 10.6, and you get that variable beam design, so it's gonna help you as far as power, control, even if you miss the sweet spot by a touch. It's sort of a unicorn out there on the market as far as that variable beam, lighter weight, 18 by 20 pattern.
Yeah, it's good. The lightweight mixed with the 1820 really lets you swing freely without having to worry about launching the ball off the court like maybe with an open string pattern would. So that's what I like. I like to rip the forehand pretty hard, and this helps out with that.
I think just comparing briefly, you've got the Prestige Pro, which is a 98 square inch head, and it's an 18 by 20 pattern. Just to contrast those two a bit, that Prestige has that very thin beam. Yeah. It's going to be still just the scalpel control racket. This one's just going to be more forgiving, a little bit more power. And then of course Head also has that Gravity Pro 18 by 20. Again, very control oriented, thin beam, and 11.1 ounces. So the Radical MP really sort of separates itself from within Head's own catalog. Lightweight, control, manageable swing weight, and of course that dense string pattern, which makes it so rare.
Absolutely, yeah, like you were saying, it is a unicorn of a racket. So We can say all the things in the world about it, but you have to try it to really experience what kind of racket this is.
Absolutely. You can demo the Head Radical MP1820 at tennisexpress.com. The rackets are shipping soon, so get yours today.